miss it, yeah.
Rashid's wife Aisha is going to Saudi with him, but will he miss his mother's home-cooked food?
Absolutely. Well, I've taught his wife everything she needs to know, so hopefully he will feel that he's still at home.
Yeah.
Aisha has worn the niqab for a year and a half, but when will the new students start covering?
I mean, the more I practice, the more I become really strong in my men, and obviously I've got to change obviously my lifestyle as well. So I'm getting there. You know, I'm just learning more about the Quran, and eventually, you know, next stage will be covering up.
But why delay?
There's a lot of things that's more important apart from wearing the hijab. I mean, obviously prayer and learning about the Quran, it's all just as important. So, you know, it's just learning everything properly really, and eventually put it on.
I so wanted to wear it, and so wanted to be recognised as a Muslim, and for me to go out as a Muslim and dressed how I felt that I should be dressed in the streets and everything. So, I mean, it's still difficult. It's obviously it's a difference, it's a change, but you know, at that point in my life, I just wanted to do it so much that I was, you know, quite happy to do it. And once I did it, I couldn't take it off.
I've made this decision. No man has influenced me to make this decision. It's not for my father or for my husband or for my son or for any other male in my family or anybody else. It's for my Lord, and this is something that I do as a woman. And you have to be strong to do it. It's not a weak woman who takes the decision to do it, because especially in our society and in many others, including Muslim societies, this is not the norm. It is something that's frowned upon. It is something that closes doors to you, and therefore the strength of character that it needs is something that people don't often take into account, because they assume you were forced anyway, and if you weren't being forced then you wouldn't have done it.
I think when you know the hikmah, when you know the wisdom behind why Allah has told us to do something, when you understand that, when you fully grasp that in your heart, you can comprehend. It's like crying and making the onions, like everything's. Oh, bismillah. When you understand the hikmah why Allah has commanded us to do something, when you comprehend that hikmah, then you feel in your heart ready to accept it.
Yeah.
And it is a big thing to cover for the first time, and I know from my own experience, you know, it's a big deal to actually cover, and you're very self-conscious about yourself.
I wasn't wearing the niqab first, I was just wearing the hijab, like Latifa, you know how she wears it. And then I started reading up on the niqab. It's actually optional, but I actually prefer to wear it. So I decided to wear it, and I like the wisdom behind it and all of that. So
we all have to take steps gradually, and you know, Allah knows best when they are ready to take that next step, and I believe they will take that step, definitely.
New Muslims and young Muslims have much to learn. Not just how to dress, but how to pray and how to prepare for prayer. Armani explained.
And which is where I met Latifa's son, Abdul Rashid, and he then put me in touch with Latifa, and about 3-4 months ago started having lessons with Latifa to just sort of learn and just generally, just see what I think to it, and it's beautiful, it's lovely, very nice.
Armani puts on her headscarf, but Rakia is too young to join in. Then it's family prayers.
Sometimes it's hard to put into words, but I think the word that's probably most often used is the peace and security. I think at the end of the day, you know, it feels like only yesterday that I was a 5-year-old, you know, like my daughter, but today I'm now, you know, in my 30s, and life is so short, and I feel like there must be something at the end of the tunnel, you know, so to speak. There must be, you know, some purpose to our life. And I feel that this gives me the security and the peace of mind and the ability to go on with life and give me confidence in life, and, you know, with the security that there is going to be something better for me. So we can deal with the hardships in this life, knowing full well that, you know, we'll be at ease in the hereafter, inshallah.
Sometimes she does take part, but
then she walks away in the middle of it
like that. She gives up halfway through.
It's fine, kids just sort of run
Yeah.
backwards and forwards and just take part when they want to and stop when they want to.
That's kind of like the
We want them to enjoy
practice
Islam.
though.
We don't want them to, you know, because when we were younger, it was taught with a bit more strictness, and it kind of put us off. Well, me, myself, I can speak for. So what we're going to do is make it fun for the children, so that
when they grow up, it's easier for them, and you can do a little bit now, but when you get older and older, you have to do more. So it's like fun, and then more, and more, and then you just have to do it all the time.
Yeah.
And
that's
then
right.
more, then more, then more, then more.
My parents were traditional Asian parents. They weren't particularly religious. I think they focused more on education than religion itself, and that took a second place. But they felt they had a duty to send us to the mosques and to the environment there. And the imams at the time, they had a very traditional way of disciplining children. If you made mistakes, you'd get a good wallop, or so that really started to. We see it as a form of punishment having to go there. It's something we didn't want to do. So in that sense, it may not have put me off Islam, but it certainly deterred me as far as a significant period of my life, until you grow up and you start to study Islam for yourself, and then you realise that the true message is completely different to what you were being taught as a youngster.
You don't want to always concentrate on the fear of it or anything like that, so that's how we've always wanted to try and bring our kids up, so they actually